I'm Victoria Cooksey, and today is going to tell you a little bit about baking chocolate. And this is not the kind of baking chocolate that, I don't know if you were like me as a kid, you found some baking chocolate at home and thought, ooh, and you're like, oh my gosh, kill me. Not that kind of baking chocolate. This is actually a craft chocolate. This is Xocolatl and is the baker, and they do small batch chocolate. This particular one that they make is Peru, and the only ingredients are organic cacao and organic cane sugar. And this is 8 ounces for, at the time I bought it just a week ago or so, $16. So that's actually a really good price for 8 ounces of bean to bar craft chocolate. And they, on their site, had 3 different origins at the time I ordered this. I picked this one because I was like, this might go with a cake that I want to make next weekend. Now, the beauty of craft baking chocolate is you get to really explore all these really cool recipes and add your own flavors. So instead of just something that's a standard chocolatey note, you've got all the nuances of the craft chocolate. Now, because this is baking chocolate and this is 170%, you can certainly eat this bar and you can chop it up and serve it with various things or cheeses or things as well. But it's also going to work when you need 70% dark chocolate in a baking item like cakes or cookies or brownies or, whatever. I have noticed that some chocolates change the texture of the baked good, so you need to keep that in mind if you're adding melted chocolate to a recipe. Different origins sometimes have a little bit more different viscosity and stuff and texture once they're in the product. But if you're looking to just chop something up as like chunks of chocolate and things, you don't really have to worry about that so much. Now let's unwrap it, because how glorious is it to have a giant bar of 8 ounces of dark chocolate in your hands. I'm sorry, I've been doing chocolate reviews for so many years that I'm actually not sorry, because it's so good. And I still get excited about 8 ounces of chocolate. Oh, smells lovely. I'm going to actually chop a piece of this off and we'll taste it and see what we get in the nose and the taste, because aren't the senses delightful? Just, you might love to smell flowers, you might love to smell wine, you might love to smell brownies baking, but I also love just to smell a nice piece of dark chocolate. Okay, let's see how this tastes. All right, I've cut a piece off, so let's taste it and smell it. Really, just love smelling chocolate, oh my gosh. This really, to me, has a lot of like dark fruit and fig notes in the nose. And I'm going to do a smaller bite just for chewing purposes here. Just gotta let it melt. While the nose to me is more dark fruit, the taste is a little bit kind of going more towards a red fruit, like a red plum. I feel like I still get the fig. Starts off with kind of some light brown sugar as well. Let's give it a second, because when you taste chocolate, you want to give it time, because other flavors present themselves, especially often in the finish, especially with more complex bars. And I feel like there's some chicory coming through. And if you're not sure what chicory is, like if you've ever had in New Orleans, Cafe Du Monde's coffee where they add chicory, there's that kind of note. Or if you've had endive, something along those lines where you kind of, where it's almost a little bitter but not quite when it's coming through. Or if it is bitter, there's a pleasantness to it. But I kind of get a little bit of that going on, and some almost like really dark caramel coming from the finish. Like if you've ever made a caramel sauce or anything yourself and you let it go till it's really dark, there's that almost bordering on bitterness to it, but in a pleasant way. So that's what I'm getting. Interesting finish. So once you use chocolate like this for baking, then you start thinking, what do I want to make that has those kind of flavor notes? But maybe you don't want that, so maybe you pick a bar that's more earthy, so you really get to play around when it comes to picking out chocolate to put in your baked goods. So, and I really like with this 8 ounce bar, it's going to go far, especially chopped up. So this is, Gotta smell it again, sorry. And remember too, like if you're smelling and tasting chocolate, especially if you're new to all this, don't get serious about it. Literally be like, do I like how this smells or not? And then just go from there and build on it. And then you can go as far as you want with it. But that's a good place to start. Just do I like it or not? And make sure you're having fun. And then you can explore many other ways of tasting and smelling chocolate beyond that. But start with the basics and go from there. And don't have any pressure. Just go for the pleasure. And this really smells delightful. Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to know more about craft chocolate bars and how they taste, be sure to follow me on Instagram. Watch all my YouTube videos because I certainly have a lot of them now. I think this is like 116 or 117 videos at this point. So there's a few out there. You might want to see if you've missed any. Thank you for watching, and I'll just be here alone in my kitchen with 8 ounces of dark craft chocolate. And again, this was by Xocolatl Chocolate, which I really like a lot of their chocolate bars for eating too. Okay, see ya. Thanks for watching. And be sure to like and subscribe.